the first thing she notices is the light fixtures. Y'all, what is this tree? I don't like that tree very much. All right, we continue our adventure. Many a person around. What is that? That is awesome. All right, so it has come to my attention that my best friend of like 20 years plus at this point, 23 years.
My friendship is a whole adult.
And in this 23 years, you have never heard Mr. Brightside.
Mr. Brightside? Mr. Pink?
No. Oh my God, no. I don't know what to do with this information.
I don't know what to do with this information.
Like this is like a thing. Like this might be a like. How did I fail you so badly?
Lots of ways.
That is still an incredibly unsettling tree. Like, look at that. What is it? What is that? What is that?
New York. The space rules.
Look what we have. We have hydration. Hers is not as exciting. So this is the opening for Post Malone, and honestly, he was awesome. I didn't get to see Post Malone when I went to GOVBALL last in 2021 because I knew that after I saw Carly, I was like, I need to be able to get home and beat the crowd because Billie Eilish on Friday was such a nightmare train ride home. So I ended up leaving without seeing Post Malone on Sunday. But it's 2024 and I wasn't alone this time. I had my best friend with me. So I was able to actually stay for Post Malone, and he puts on a fucking phenomenal show. Like, good for him. I was honestly surprised at all of the Post Malone songs that I happen to know. My knowledge of Post Malone is mostly his Magic the Gathering playing career. And honestly, like, the fact that his songs are so ubiquitous is awesome. I will say though, there was a point where he started using strobes and it started getting loud and I was getting a little overwhelmed. So I was like, let me pop in my earplugs that I had bought, and that I will tell you that is the best $35 I've ever spent. If you're a person who gets overwhelmed at concerts, loop experiences are for you. All right, our next adventure is we're trying to get out. We're trying to beat the rush out of here. Oh, on top of the world. On top of the world. I feel like every location that I've kind of seen so far, I can be like, oh, that's the Forever 21. I couldn't tell you where the Forever 21 in the distance over there. Like, I couldn't tell you where that was in comparison to anything else. All right, we have looped all the way back to Posty.
They're gonna help me sing a song.
This is not necessarily.
And I like when I have two
This is not a bad thing.
I really got to
He's just not the exit. And we really don't want to get caught in the crossfire of all those people going for the exit. Other side. Okay, cool. All right, so we just picked up some lobster rolls for Ayana. What are you eating? That's not lobster rolls. Hot and honey shrimp. Hot and honey shrimp for you. And lavender lemonade for me. This is so good. That is, I'm not going to be trying that. That is all you, my friend. So after dropping my cup off into the receptacle for the reusable cups that they had all over, we went to go see Chaperone. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but either way, I think she was brilliant. For what we got to see, I think that she puts on a really fucking good show. The only song I knew going into this was Hot to Go, and I'd heard a few other things from my friends the night before where they were like, oh, you've never heard of her? Like, and you're gonna see her? Here's some stuff you should know. But honestly, I feel like I didn't have to know about her in order to get her, because she was great. We ended up having to leave the concert area just because it was so fucking loud, and I was the only one with earplugs, and we actually had to get Ayana earplugs. But we took a little detour for Ayana to freak out and fangirl over the lighting and sound board at the Red Bull Club thing. I guess that's what that was. And in our quest for earplugs, we ended up at the Dunkin' Donuts section of everything, and we got these free Dunkin' Donuts cards. I cannot find mine. I need to do that so I can buy my free thing. And it was here that I tried iced coffee for the first time. I have never had iced coffee before that day, and let me tell you, that stuff was delicious.
Imagine this from like another establishment, like a Starbucks or a Payne Cozy Dan or like a local coffee shop. Like, this stuff is amazing. Why did no one tell me iced coffee is so good? We are a ways away from Chapel Road, and I can hear her like she's in my thoughts. What is going on? So I have a question. As a technical person, are you able to tell why she's so fucking loud right now?
What do you mean by why?
What are the settings that are making her so loud and reverberating to the point where we are several hundred yards away and we can hear her like she is in our brains?
Different factors as to why she's so loud. It's not just one thing, but I don't know. This is pretty loud.
Really loud.
Like, I'm at the max of my voice level right now, and I feel like I'm straining. Like,
Yeah,
I feel like I'm hoarse right now.
Yeah, I feel like you but I know you don't like raise your voice for that many things. And
We're like right next to each other.
yeah, we're like yelling at each other. Yeah.
What could be a factor is that sometimes some artists ask for it to be loud so that they feel like it's full, meaning that like, you know how like when you play music in an empty room, you know how kind of it has a different feeling than when you play music in a room that's full of people.
Yeah.
Totally two different moods. So it's possible that she asked for it to be extremely loud so she could, you know, be a little bit more hype.
I feel like there's more people.
Or,
More people than this.
yeah, that
Like
entire,
she is beyond over here. The crowd is like way down that way. Like it is a legion over there. It is full. It is full. They are at capacity. There are two kinds of people at a festival. People who are here for the music and people who are here for the technical stuff.
So after an attempt to do some kind of weird influencer Coachella style video with my little wingies, we ended up taking a trip to get some drinks and for me to use the bathroom. And it was a very long wait. I ended up having to use the men's bathroom, but we got through it. We got dinner. I think this place was called like Fuku Kitchen, and it was so good. And then after that, we went to go wait for SZA, and the Queensboro president was there, and he was talking about Pride, talking about SZA, about how fun it was and how happy he was to be there. He was being pretty chill.
It is amazing to see you back. Let's give it up for Governor's Ball. Are y'all enjoying yourselves? And of course, we would not be here if it were not for our nurses and doctors who took care of us during the pandemic. Give it up for them.
And then once that happened, SZA actually came on. I was pronouncing it SZA for a while because I don't know that much about her. I just know that song The Weeknd, which is like side chick music. But Ayana loves her. This is like who she was super excited to see. And because of where we were standing, we could not see anything. We were just behind all of these tall people. So I just gave up and I started recording people's phones, recording the better views than what I had. And that actually worked out pretty nicely. And I feel like for this to be my first introduction to SZA, I feel like I had a really good time. I think this was a good introduction as to her vibe and her music. And also, as a sidebar, like, she's beautiful. I hope she has her curly girl routine up somewhere, because I will be stealing it and applying elements of it to my own life. Please and thank you. So after a quick admission to the camera that I have no idea what's going on here, she actually changed her scenery, which was pretty cool. And the more that she started singing songs, the more I realized I actually knew some songs without knowing that I knew them, which was pretty cool. I just also think that her showmanship and all of that stuff was just really on point. And then she changed the scenery again. Like, she's doing this cool thing where like the screen goes up. And then I discovered my arch nemesis, which was tall people standing in front of short people at festivals and then going out of their way to smoke in front of us. This guy in particular in front of us, he wasn't smoking, which is a blessing, but he was standing directly in front of Ayana. She couldn't see anything, so I switched spots with her because Ayana cares more about SZA than I do. I hadn't heard of her really before this. But I swear, like, on my life, there was so many people smoking, and I know the rules basically say don't smoke at these events, but then there were people smoking. Like, it wasn't even the vaping that was a problem, it was like the blunts. And look, the guy is like literally directly in front of me, and like, he doesn't know how good of a fan I am of SZA. Like, come on, like, if you see short people around you, just move. But then after a point we were like, you know what, we gotta go, we gotta get out of here to beat the crowds out of here, and it ended up working out in our favor. So after a quick thank you to my earplugs for getting me through the day, between Chaperone being super loud and SZA being super crowded, we made our way out of there with much less trouble than on Friday, and it was fun.